And I'd like to tell you that that skill set that he was well trained in is entirely gone. He can't even pick up a coffee cup. I'm serious. He had a few other jobs over the years. He worked in a filling station as a filling station attendant. We don't even have those anymore, so he's extinct in that area. We moved to Arizona. He went to work in a factory building refrigeration units. And then his Uncle Red taught him to lay tile. And I'm going to lose it here. This isn't me talking, but he was the best tile layer in western Colorado, and there were a lot of people that said so.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, so he also did a few other things like running a silver mining operation in Arizona for a while. That was pretty fun. Tried to collect a little silver. We didn't get rich, but we had a good time. And then we came home to Colorado, and he and George Bunniger opened an automotive shop. And Mike was forever after known as A Partner, because that's what they called him in the first student newsletter. George Bunniger and A Partner. So they made a go at that and kind of decided they were going to back on out of there and go back and do other things. And Mike laid tile for a lot more years. And then about 10 years ago, I said, you got to stop laying tile because it's killing you. So he went to work for Willow Grove as a maintenance man. And during those 9.5 years, he's not only been Willow Grove and Grand Manor's maintenance man, but he's been everybody else here's maintenance man as far as I know. So I'd just like to tell you all that Mike's still happy to do things for you. But we're on Social Security now, so it will no longer be free or for a 12-pack.
Damn.
I was always last in line for home repairs because my husband always told me I didn't have a work order. So, honey, I got your work orders here, and I've got them filled out.
Oh boy.
So, you know, you can go through this, and anybody else
go back
wants
to
put
work
in a work order,
where you can get some rest.
you know, go for it.
Hey, Don, are you hiring?
And I'm going to turn this microphone over to Mr. Donald Jenkins, who has a couple of things he'd like to say. And then anybody else that wants to have a little fun here, come on up.
Don't run.
I'm running.
I don't think they play
This
walk
is my run.
Okay.
Where's the short one?
Yeah. Is this on?
Yep.
Yep.
That was too short for you, though. Isn't that what your wife said the whole time you were there?
Yeah, she said,
She's not even
what are you going to do with that little thing? I said, who are you going to please with that little thing? I said, no one I got to please is me. Sally asked me to say a few kind words about Mikey. And God, I sat up all night last night trying to think of kind words. I couldn't find it. So these are the kind of words that I come up with. I don't know Mikey very well, but what I do know of him, I count him as one of my friends. And after coming here today and seeing all you people and meeting people that I didn't know Mikey. I didn't know Mikey had a mother. Lord Almighty, he does have a mother.
There he is.
There she is right there. There's Mikey's mother. Let's give her a hand. There she is. And she's spunky too.
Yes, he is.
That's the wine talking.
Somebody give that woman some more wine.
Yeah.
I'm going to dance with you. I'm dancing with you. One of the things that brought to mind is be nice.
You got to get on that mic.
I got to get on the mic.
Get on it, Don.
Okay. Okay, now, how's that?
Perfect.
Perfect. Perfect.
Go ahead, sing the old rugged cross, according to this.
Okay, I'm gonna sing Over the River and Through the Woods. Mike has always been, you could always count on Mike for anything. I used to call him Mike, but then I found out he spells it with a Y at the end of it. So it's been Mikey. And I knew Sally, I think, before I knew Mike, and I knew George before I knew Mike, and I kind of got acquainted with him. And I see, looking out there, I see Hans over there. We have quite a history, George and Mike and Hans. One night over at George's house, we was playing loud music and drinking beer, and they showed up. Mikey showed up and said, "Come on, you got to go help me." And Hans wanted to be the first one on Grand Mesa, or something about being the first of something. And he missed the road, and his pickup went off over a cliff. And so Mikey thought that George and I and him between us, we could help him get it up over there. But it was a fun trip. Drank lots of beer, and we just had a really good time.
We didn't get the truck out, though.
We never got his truck out. I think it's still up there.
What the hell?
BLM has been after him for weeks. Okay, now I started to write down some stuff about Lake Powell, but what goes on at Lake Powell has to stay in Lake Powell. Sally warned me, don't talk about Lake Powell, because at that time I was quite single, and I was dating a gal by the name of Too Tall. Oh, you know, huh, Sally? Yeah.
Basketball player.
Oh, she was. She could bounce them balls, I'll tell you. Oh, thank God she wasn't dribbling, though. Okay, and I wrote down a little bit more here about Mike. Yes, I didn't find out till just now that he had 3 beautiful sisters. Now, he never told me that he had sisters, and I think it's probably because he didn't want me to chase after him when we was running around and I was single. I'm not sure, but I don't think he wanted to be one of my relatives. He was afraid that he'd be his brother-in-law, and that just wouldn't get him. I can't think of any really bad stuff to say about Mikey. He's never been close to a razor in his whole life. Even at 14 years old, he looked just like he does right now. That's why his career as a busboy never got off the ground too far, because he could have done real good around Christmas time, because I think he could have played either Santa Claus or one of these elves. But I've never known him to take a drink. I've never known a man to drink. Take a drink. Not just one, but I mean, you got a 6-pack or a 12-pack or whatever. That's how he gauged time. We don't, people use a watch, but he uses like 3 beers, 6-pack, or that's a pack and a half or whatever. And I'll tell you a story. One time, he and I and George went deer hunting. Now, he's a great deer hunter. We named him Chingus Coop. He was that friend of Daniel or Davy Crockett's Indian friend, Chingus Coop. We was up above Colburn deer hunting, and we borrowed everything we could borrow. I did have a car, but we borrowed a trailer, we borrowed a hitch, and we filled it up with all kinds of good stuff. And Mikey was going to make his famous chili, and we got set up our camp and everything, and we were there. And the next morning, we all went out, and George shot a great big buck, but we never could see it. He said it was a big buck, but we never found it. And Mikey come to us, he said, I need help. I killed a big old deer. And we was so proud of him, so we went up to help him with his big old deer. And he said, I don't need much help. I can grab all 4 legs with one hand and bring it down just like a little suitcase. He shot a little fawn. And that night, the camper, the light we had was a little old Coleman lantern. And George and I, we'd been drinking and celebrating his big buck that he didn't get. And Mikey was trying to fix the lantern on the Coleman lantern, and he was trying his best with his, and he's just shaking like a dog shitting peach seeds. Have you ever seen that? He was trying to tie this mantle onto the Coleman lantern, and George and I got to watching him, and I mean, it was like he had to St. Vitus dance. And he couldn't never get that thing tied on. That's just Mikey. I mean, you know, that was one thing he never could tie on. He tied on a lot of other stuff. And I'm not going to take any more time. I think George is going to. Huh?
You ought to see me shaking now.
Oh, God. Sally kind of likes it when you shake quite a bit, though. Do that some more.
Battery's not included.
Batteries not included.
Don't need no damn batteries.
Yeah. They make a good pair, though, don't they? Yeah, they do make a good pair. I mean, when they first started out, everybody bet that it wouldn't last. But look at them.
Everybody owes us now.
Everybody, yeah. I knew Sally way back a long time ago. And I always thought a lot of her until she met Mike. And I don't know, Sally, how could you, and you had kids by him too, and you know damn good and well that the gene pool can't be very much. He's been swimming at the lower end of the gene pool so long, you can't never tell what's going to happen. But he did raise some good kids.
Yes, he did.
He did raise some good kids, and there's one of them right there.
He's next up.
The drummer, for God's sake.
Mikey told him when he was a little bitty boy, he said, here, take this thing and beat it. And I'll be damned if he didn't. And he ended up a drummer. He wouldn't listen to him. He said, now don't beat that. But he wouldn't listen. He went ahead and beat it anyways. And look what he turned out to be, a drummer.
Can't beat that.
I guess he could beat it with rhythm. Because you got to play drums. Okay, now it says here, I can tell one thing about Mikey. We got together one time up at, I think it was up at George's little cabin up on the mountain. And we was singing a song that Mikey and I always like to sing. And I didn't know Mikey was gay. But he is. I mean, he's what we used to call AC/DC. Or we could call him either or. Or he's a pitcher and a catcher. But he and I was close up there. I want to tell you, Mikey.
How close?
We were closer than close. We got done with our song, and Mikey turned to me, looked in my blue eyes, and I looked in his blue eyes, and it was red bloodshot eyes, I guess it was. That's when I found out that he was gay, because he turned to me and he looked at me, and my heart melted, and he planted a kiss on me that I tell you what, it was so, my leg went up like they do in the movies, you know, when the guy kisses the woman and one of her legs, I don't know why it did, it just goes up like that. It has to do something with amour, that's French, or manure, that's cowboy stuff. But he planted a kiss on me that curled my mustache, and it stayed that way. I think he even tongued me, I'm not sure. You ever been French kissed by an ass end of a bulldog? I was. And I'll never forget it, Mike. And I'll to my dying day, I'm going to hold that against you. I almost swore off women and went to men. Thank God I didn't, though. Now, I want to know, George's coming up here, and he's got something he wants to say to Mikey. He's known Mikey longer than I have, so he's going to have to do something to beat that. Thank you very much. I'm proud to call him friend.
Here, I got something for you. A baked potato. That's a baked potato.
Don't kiss me! Damn it, no!